All right, welcome everyone, or welcome, good day. Welcome to Stock Analysis with Wilson. Today is the last day, the final day for our beginners masterclass course for trading the Nigerian Stock Exchange markets. Okay, so since we started this course, we've done um, subjects on support and resistance, chart patterns, and also indicators that can be used for trading the Nigerian Stock Exchange market. Okay, so now that is on the side. Now today we are going to do a start to finish. Um, we're going to do a start to finish class. What does this entail? I'll start from the beginning. I'm going to teach you a strategy on how you can analyze the Nigerian Stock Exchange market from the beginning to the end, and also decide on how to buy at the right price, because yeah, technical analysis actually helps you know what is the best price to buy, when to buy. Okay, so even if a result, maybe a banking result or a consumer goods result comes out and it was very excellent, that doesn't always mean that the market will shoot up that day. Sometimes the market will take some time, no, maybe consolidate a bit, maybe accumulate before it now goes up. Sometimes you still pull back again, maybe briefly before going up. Let me just say, for example, there was a time that there was a news that Nigeria has been elevated to T1. That's a good news, actually. But the market was still correcting, a strong correction. So that is why technical analysis is important, so that you can know when to invest and how to invest. Okay. So the market might be in a deep correction and there maybe a good result comes out and you think, oh, volume will come to the market immediately. I don't That is not how volume actually works. Okay. Or let's say they announce dividend and you think the market will shoot up just like that. No. Sometimes it will correct a bit before going up again. Or let me even give another example. The time that I invested in First Bank, I checked the markets. The market was correct in that period, and the market did not shoot up, like how it did. I think was it last month, or I think it was last month or so. But the market did not shoot up like that. When I went to do the analysis on First Bank, I saw that the market is still correcting. So one had to wait till around 55 naira to finally put in their position, and then that is when the market started going up aggressively. So yeah, ten analysis actually helps you buy at the right price and at the right time. You know. So today we are going to use UBA as our strategy, for our technical analysis strategy as our case study. So what are we going to do first? First of all, we are going to do is top-down analysis. I've done a video on top-down analysis before. I've explained how to do it. Top-down analysis actually helps you know what investors are thinking. Okay, top-down analysis helps you know what investors are thinking. Then you now break it down to the lowest time frame, which is the 1 hour time frame, to know, okay, what is actually happening in this hour, where and how can I enter. Okay, if the market is correcting this hour, then you can enter at the pullback. If the market is in a bullish run, then you have to wait for a pullback before you invest, given that you are sure that this market will still go up. You understand? For top-down analysis, you start with the higher time frame, and then you go to the lowest time frame and then invest. All right, yeah. So on UBA, we're on the monthly chart, and we are going to start with what's the overall market? What does it look like? Looking at this, we can see that the market is in an uptrend. Me, I'm using area. I always say that on the stock, on the support and resistance, You know that I did. I say I always use area so that I can pinpoint the exact support and the exact resistance area. Okay. So first of all, UBA just completed an uptrend. Let me put a line there so I can see what I'm saying. And one thing about third analysis is that once you do analysis on the higher time frame, it must always align with other time frames. Okay. So as you can see, the market is on a strong uptrend here. Okay. So the market is in is on a strong bullish momentum here. It hasn't crossed below this line. So this stock, provided that it maintains its good fundamentals, has potential to actually continue this uptrend. Okay. So this is an uptrend market on the higher time frame. So as a long-term investor, if you are investing long-term, then you know that if you put your money in this market, it would go up, but it might not go up as quick as you expect because it's a long-term investment. So you have to wait for like maybe a few months before you now take your profits. Okay. Now, given that we understand the overall full market, you know, full market perspective and what investors are thinking now, we now start with support and resistance. So we start with support here. I'll use different color so I can see this. Can use here for support, and we use this is resistance here. We use another color. Okay, so the green is support, the red is resistance. Okay, now we are saying that okay, this is where the market is consolidating. Okay, so the market went on this uptrend, strong uptrend, and then started consolidating here. And the market touched one, two, three spots. And when the market touches three spots, is a very strong bullish momentum. It confirms a strong bullish trend upward. And again, in my experience, when the trend line, this line that I drew here for to understand the overall market sentiment, when the trend line crosses with a support line, it usually acts as a signal to buy in. As you can see, when it crossed at this area, let me put circle there. You can see that when it crossed at this area, the market went upwards. It went upward and is also trying to, break this resistance level. Okay. So now we are done with this. There's nothing much to do here. It's just this support and this ultimate support and resistance. Okay, on the higher time frame. And this was where the signal point came because of the trend line crossed with the support and resistance. Okay. Now let's go to the weekly chart. How are we doing there? Okay. Now on the weekly chart, I'll remove this circle here. As you can see, this market came here, then you can see this actually has strong support. Even if you can see that the market crossed here, but it still acted, it still came back, which means that this whole market here, okay, let me put a circle here. This whole market here actually happened within a month. That's why you can see on the monthly charts. That's why you can see on the monthly charts, it just stopped here. Let me use candlestick pattern so that we can understand it better now that I've done our drawings. Okay, so you can see that it's going on a um it's consolidating on the monthly chart. Okay, so you can see this is also what they call This is W. This is double top. And when the market forms a double top, it usually leads to a downtrend, which already happened here. So after that, it came to this support level and then went up. And you can see that when it came to this support level too, it formed a big bullish tweezer, which is another candlestick pattern, whereby the bearish open and close and the bullish open and close are usually the same. Okay, so as you can see, this whole market here was actually 1 month. If you go to the weekly chart, you can see the market went up aggressively. Then when it got to this place, which is, let me call it, okay, this is 55 naira, 55 naira, or 55 naira. Let me just put it at 55 naira. Okay, when it got there, it became a strong resistance, and you can see that the price did not go like maybe gradually pulling back. It pulled back very aggressively. Just not like how it pulled back in this area. That maybe pull back, pull button. No, it pulled back aggressively because people are selling. They pulled back aggressively, then people now bought, and then it came here again. You can see again our hammer signaling. You can see again our bullish hammer signaling. You can see again our bullish hammer signaling a potential trend reversal. Then it was followed by a dodgy candlestick pattern. And if the market actually went bearish, then to be a morning star, which will also lead to a continuous bearish, but it continued. So when you see candlestick patterns, always pay attention to your candlestick pattern during your analysis. Okay. So the market came here, supported, and then it went up again and then continued. Now it's going to this resistance level, which investors should actually watch. Okay, so you can see that all this happened in 1 month. That is why on the monthly time frame, this is the ultimate resistance level. Why this is just this last big candle here, big bullish candle, is just a emotional buying. That's what I call it emotional buying. Okay. So after that, now that we have done this on the weekly time frame, maybe you might ask, why is that the thing crossed above and then came down? If you want, you can actually use rectangle to draw the support and resistance perfectly. Okay, so you can know that, okay, this is a support zone and this is a resistance zone. Okay, so I'll just put this here. Now you can see that this is a strong support zone. If the market enters within this zone, you should expect it to go up. Okay, and this is a good this is a good resistance here. You can see this is a M. We call it double top, and it came down again. So understanding from the higher time frame, the market is still correcting, still in its corrective phase. It hasn't broken the resistance level. Now, after drawing this support and resistance level, the next thing to do now is to go on the daily time frame to see how the market is performing. Okay, now that we understand how this market is, you can see this our trend line actually aligned with this our lines here, and it's also going on an uptrend, maintaining its bullish momentum. Okay, so now this is up, and then what's happening on the lower time frame? Now, now that we are coming to this our lower time frame, we can now call up our indicators. Okay. But before we do that, let's look at this. What is happening here? We can see that the market is still is in another corrective phase. Now, on this lower time frame, we can now add more support and resistance levels. Okay, we can add more support and resistance levels to actually know better entry spots. Okay, now that we're on the daily time frame, we can add more support and resistance levels to understand better entry spots. So what are we going to do now? Just put this on area so we can pinpoint the best possible entries. So for me, I'll look at this place. This is a good support and resistance here. I'll use a different color so that you know that we do this one on the daily chart. Okay. So this is support, yeah, resistance. This you can see this our aggressive bullish bearish momentum. You can see it came down to this place and then it broke the support and came down again and closed here. Then it went down again before it went up. That is why you can see that the price went on a very long, let's say I call it 20% loss or 30% most 20 to 30% loss. So now this line that we drew here, you can see acted as a good support here. Also acted as a good support with this. Well, it almost formed a hammer, but not a completely a hammer. But you can see buyers rejected the price here. That's why I said the weeks of a candlestick pattern is very, very important, even more than the candlestick pattern, because the week tells you what really happened during the market. You can see when you reach the resistance zone, it's pulled back because sellers are rejecting the price here. And because of this historic, resistance zone, let me put this thing here. Okay, so this is a historic. So this zone now is resistance. It is a resistance zone here. Just like how we have this support zone here. This is another resistance zone on the daily chart. And you can see also when the market came to this area, it resisted. The same psychology because of this area here. People are now took profits. So it came here again. Now it formed you can see this candlestick pattern here, a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, which also signals a bullish trend is on the horizon. Okay, and it also aligns with the supports. You check the video I did yesterday. I did aligning support and resistance with candlestick patterns. Very, very important. Okay, so you can see now we're focusing on this final part of the market. How are we going to analyze this now? We're going to bring up our first of all moving average. What's happening in the market? We can see that this is our moving average. The market came here, supported, then cross. Anytime the market crosses above the moving average, it signals a bullish trend. So you can see that after this engulfing bearish, it went on another bullish trend, which crossed above the moving average, confirming a bullish momentum is on the horizon. However, it's actually pulled back, but now you can see that the market it went back up again and closed above the the moving average. So following this, we're going to bring up our other indicators, okay, so that we can understand what's happening here. Now, looking at what happened yesterday, this, okay, you can see that the market started with a bearish. This is yesterday. I see the market started with, sorry, the market finished with a strong bullish momentum, with 30. 38.11 million shares bought or purchased. So you can see the market ended strongly bullish yesterday after a close above the moving average. Then when we come again, you can see even though MACD is showing that the market is bearish. This bearish in MACD always signals an opportunity to buy into value. So how do you know that the market is actually going to reverse using MACD? You look at this histogram, these lines that are here. Look at this histogram. You can see that the histogram is reducing, reducing upwards. See, we want to go and start another line up here. Let me use example. Let me see each place. Okay, let's look at this place now. Let me see if I can put something there. Let's just look at this small place here. So you can see how the market is going here, and then when it came, it now continued this bullish run here before it now reduced again, and continue like that. So that is how to read the history. The histogram tells you that it's either a continuous bullish, continuous bearish, or a trend reversal. And from what I'm seeing here, it's still a continuous trend reversal, following the bullish volume from yesterday. Okay, so that is a good sign to buy into value. And you can see this is a live market. The market has pulled back even below the moving average, which you don't have to worry because there's still a support level here, strong support here at 43 naira. Okay, so investors can buy into value at this moment, at this spot. You can see have a very small support line here if you want to be more precise. Let me just make this line a bit thin. Follow to So you can see this tiny line, just putting it there, just to see how strong this support level is. Okay, now this is this is RSI. RSI is at 54, which is actually in a neutral zone, which is perfect for investments. Okay, it's not overbought, it's not oversold region. Okay, it's just at 54. So this is a very good, signal that there's still momentum in the market. Market still has momentum. Okay, so that is a good sign there. Then if you look at money flows tells us how how much money is flowing in the market, or liquidity. Is the stock liquid? Is smart money in the market? Looking at the money flow, we can see that money flow is at 65 and is above 50, which is our threshold. Okay, so reading that, you can say smart money is in the market on the daily time frame. We can see then we can still do another further analysis using our indicators. So we start with the monthly time frame. Now, after all this drawing, you can see that okay, the lines here. So we can see that on the monthly time frame, we can see that this bullish momentum is gradually coming up, signaling a recovering market, because the market is correcting. Is in corrective phase. So the bullish momentum will not be as strong as when it's on an impulsive phase, or a strong markup phase. Okay, so you can see that the bullish volume remains solid. Then you can also see that MACD, just like how I explained, you know, just like how I explained, you can see divergence. We call it divergence when the momentum of a signal is reducing. When you look at the histogram, and you can see that is reducing, that means that a trend reversal is on the horizon. So even if it's bearish, just look at the histogram. Is it reducing? It means that people are no more selling as much as they sold before. Okay, now less people are selling, but now it's time to buy into value. So that's a good one there. And we can see RSI 59 within the neutral zone, perfect for investment. We can see that money flow is below 50. Okay, 40, 47, 47, and it's still declining. This decline is because the market is still in a corrective phase. So it's very important to watch this and look at seeing that money flow is still at 45. It means that the institutional investors have not yet, placed their position yet. But you, as a trader or investor, you can actually place your 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 position, buy into value, and wait. But if you don't want to be too risky, you can still wait for the market to correct till maybe 43, and then you know um buy into value. So even if this is below our threshold, this money flow below 50, it doesn't does it shouldn't stop you from placing your position because UBA has good fundamentals. Okay, so let's go to the weekly time frame. As you can see on the weekly time frame, let's start with money flow. Money flow is reducing because the market was correcting. Okay, market is correcting. So you need to watch it. Now you know that people are not yet investors, the real investors are not, or the investors that can put enough money that will push the market have not yet, push the market yet. Have not yet placed their position yet. As you can see, this is 40, 40. The thing, the market just increased. The money flow just increased from 30 something now to 40, and it's steadily increasing. Okay, now you can also see that the momentum in the market is at 52, which is actually solid and within a neutral area, perfect for investment. Then we can also see finally, can see that MACD has started its um, bullish momentum on the weekly chart, and it's increasing gradually. So when you see that, and then you see the volume is low, but it remained consistently bullish, and solid. It means that people are buying into value, and it's the best time to position yourself. Okay. Then looking at this is above the moving average. The market is above the moving average, doesn't cross down, which actually gives investors hope, or an idea or which informs the investors on how to invest. Helps investors to make informed investment decision. Okay, market is above the moving average, so the market is still strong. Let's check the higher time frame. As you can see on the higher time frame, the market actually is above the moving average, which actually signals a bullish uh, trend is on the horizon. So if this bullish signal continues, then it's good for the market. It offers positive sentiment to investors. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the market is above, and when you look at the indicators, you look at your volume, you can see that the volume is solid bullish volume, continuous bullish volume. Then you can see that the MACD is showing divergence, showing that it's a bullish trend on the horizon. Then we have the RSI at 59, which is solid momentum. And even if the money flow is low, even if money flow is low, the overall bullish sentiment is stronger than the bearish sentiment. So if you're having three, or let's say out of five, you have like 3 to 4 bullish sentiments, strong bullish sentiments, then in no time, money flow also align. Okay. So yeah, now the next thing is to find the right price to buy. How do you get the right price to buy, or purchase this stock? You just go to the hourly time frame. Okay, when you go there, you put your support and resistance where the market price is. Okay, so this is part of the top-down analysis. You put your support and resistance here. This is, may make this line a bit thin. Okay, so this is at how much is this? This is, let's say this is around 44 naira, 44.83, 44.83. So that's a good support zone to buy into value. Okay, if you want to even go a bit further, you can look at the last low, the previous low, or the previous low. Previous low was 45, 45.10 naira. So that should give you an idea of where to buy into value. You can see that people are now selling. And if you look at your indicators, okay, you can see continuous bullish volume. This is solid. You can see RSI. Our RSI is at 46. And again, when you're looking at RSI on the lower time frame, it's better that it's within the neutral zone than if it's overbought, oversold. If you are looking at your RSI on the higher time frame, on the lower time frame, sorry, and it is overbought, just know that the market will soon go down, because lower time frame is faster. So the lower, the faster the time frame, the more sensitive the market, are going to the um, overall market sentiment. You can see the RSI does increase again. See how it increased from 40 something to 50. Okay, you can see now it does reduce again to 46, from 46 to 57. So it's more sensitive and more liquid. Then when we look at the money flow, I see that money flow remains strong at 91, meaning that people are actually investing in this stock. The stock is attractive from 91 to 50, 51, from 90 to 51, sorry, from 90 to 51. So, given all these sentiments, and again, forgot to also show you guys MACD. Okay, MACD has commenced divergence now. Now, when you see that MACD has commenced divergence, it means that you should place your position at a lower, you know, look for another lower low, instead of going for 43 or 45 points. For a 1-0, you can start with 45 or 44.83. but 4.83. Or if you want to still go a bit further down, that's depending on how the market performs. This is 43.10 naira. Okay, so that is for this part. So now we're expecting market to break out here. Let me put a resistance line here. If market breaks out this resistance line here, that will confirm the bullish trend. However, market is consolidating within this zone. It's also a good buying zone here. You can buy into value here and wait for the market to go up. Okay, so just looking at all this, the best place to buy, considering on the top-down analysis and the overall market sentiment and fundamental of the stock. Best place to buy if you are doing technical analysis should be 43 naira, 44 naira, 80 kobo. Then a another resistant level to look at is around 47 naira 22 kobo. So when if you buy at this 43, if you buy at this 40, let's look at what is this? If you buy at this 45.10 or 44.383, and you are taking profit at 47, I don't know how many percentage increase is that. Let's say almost 10%. Let's say that is 10%. If it's almost 10%, does that align with your strategy? Are you planning to take profit at 10%? Are you planning to take profit at 5%? You know, so when you're doing support and resistance and you want to, you know the price enter, you calculate how many percentage to the resistance level, so you know when to take your profit. If the percentage to resistance level is very small and it's smaller than your strategy, then it's either you wait for a further pullback or you take the risk and then watch how the market performs when it goes to that resistance level. If the market goes to that resistance level and pulls back strongly, then that is good. Look for your next support zone and place your buy position there. Okay. But if it goes there and surpasses the resistance zone, then that confirms a bullish signal for entry. Okay. So it can go two ways. It can go two ways. So you can see the market has gone to another that's been bearish since morning, but people are buying into value. And again, you can see okay, it's still diverging or divergence, still maintaining a divergence signal. So we should expect a bearish market from UBA today. UBA should close bearish today, based on how the market is performing, and it also provides opportunity to buy into value. All right, so that is it for today. If you have any questions, kindly ask. Thanks for watching to the end. Also, if you want to learn how to perform advanced trading to make even more money in the NGX, Nigerian Stock Exchange market, you can check my YouTube channel for Elliott Wave classes and how to use Fibonacci extension and retracements to determine possible support and resistance zone and project where prices will stop, in the long run. Okay, so that is that for today. We will discuss later. Have a nice day.